Almighty, 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 Creator of earth. His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works, Almighty, 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 Creator of earth. His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works, who shall we fear? We got omnipotent, Almighty Father, the Father of Abraham, the Father of Isaac and Jacob, the Almighty. Why would we pray? He said this time for the nation, the covenant back in our faces. Y'all, he with us, don't care what we face. Where else we gon' go? We gon' trust in his word. Stay on that narrow, don't trust in no turns. Eyes to the east, everybody gon' learn. Put where your sins are, they all about to burn. Past overcoming, got the blood on me. Unforgiveness, had to go, I got the love on me. I didn't leave, I got the peace, I got the dove on me. See the kingdom of y'all, I got a bug on me. Almighty, 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 Creator of earth. His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works, Scattered for many years, now we back. Mind been renewed from this world, we detached. The judgment is coming by his will, that's a slap. The wilderness is coming by his hand, that's a fact. The ark of the covenant, all but willing, that's a spot. Where he gon' get us? It was prophesied in the land you was sold by his blood, you gon' ride, you gon' ride. Babylon falling, it all gon' go wrong. Keep them commandments, we trying to go home. Before you serve me, go serve him on that throne. Walk as he walk, I'm a clone. Where he gon' get us? Keep commandments, he gon' fight for. How much she out here to light for? Ram on, blow the right on. Almighty, 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 Creator of earth. His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works, Almighty, 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 Creator of earth. His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, 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 Creator of earth. His blood inside me, inside me, inside me. We know that it works. Almighty, 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 Almighty. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Facebook Live, good afternoon. YouTube, good afternoon. Breaking Strongholds Ministry, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope your day has been a great day. I hope the Most High have really truly blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High really truly have blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and peace, with understanding and protection. I hope the Most High have really truly blessed you over and abundantly. Yes, I really truly hope He has. I hope your week has been a great week. I hope you have been given everything your heart desired this week. I really can't say how my week has been. It's been some ups and downs this week. It's been challenging this week. I really went through some experiences this week, but it's all good.
I want to go ahead and start off with Exodus chapter 1 verse 1. Exodus 21 through 17. And it reads, And Ananias spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Ananias, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other Ananias before me, and thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, the Ananias, am a jealous Ananias, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third or fourth generation of them that hate me, and show mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy Ananias in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Ananias. In it thou shalt not do any works, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughter, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the Sabbath day. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy fathers and thy mothers, that thy days be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy Ananias giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything as thy neighbor's. Oh, let us pray. O creators of the heavens and earth, of all radiance and vibration, soften the grounds of our being, and carve out a space with us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear fruits of our mission. Let each of our actions bear fruits in accordance with our desires within your purpose for our life. Bestow us with the wisdom of produce and share where each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of the past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which distracts us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the creative power and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. So let it be. Yes, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon.
No.
This is the day that the Most High have made, so let us be glad and rejoice in it.
No.
You know, if you could turn to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 1 through 11. Chapter 5, verses 1 through 11, and the key verse is verse 3. Verse 3. And it reads, When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Wow. It says, For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. If I may give a title of the text today, the title of the teachings is, we have to be very watchful. The time is near. We have to be very watchful. The time is near. If I may give 2 words today, 2 words is aware. Aware is a 1620 words. 16th century or 1620 word.
No.
And it means watchful or vigilant, vigilant or guarded. Hold on. Guarded. Hold on. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. It means, aware means to be watchful, alert, guarded, but more strictly in modern usage, apprised, expecting an event from information or probabilities. Awareness means an expecting an event from information or probabilities. Okay? Then it says the word sign is a token, something by which another thing is shown or represented. Any visible thing or any motions, appearance, or event which indicates the existence or approach of something else. Gesture or motioning of the hand, especially one meant to express thought or convey ideas. Warn. Warn means to give notice of approaching or probable danger or evil, that it may be avoided, to caution against anything that may prove injurious. Okay? This teaching today is about being aware, taking heed to the warnings, and also looking at the signs that is going on around you. But I don't think it's necessarily about the signs, it's about the awareness and the warnings of what's actually getting ready to take place in the earth and on the earth. Okay? When Paul was writing to the Thessalonians, he was talking to them about how he was thankful to them on how they was behaving, how they was living, how they should be, and how the things were in that situation, because they was going through a lot in Thessalonica. And Paul was just actually praising them because of what they have been doing through the trials and tribulations of life, through the suffering of life, through all the afflictions of life. Paul was just congratulating them and telling them to keep walking in faith. Keep going through the process. Keep being able to be a righteous person in the midst of going through all these trials and tribulations. Even going through the persecutions and the afflictions. Paul was just basically telling the Thessalonians to keep walking in your faith. Keep walking in your belief. And because he was trying to encourage them, because he understood that their trials and tribulations was hard. He understood that everything that they was going through wasn't an easy task. He understood that. And in the midst of him understanding that, he was using himself as an example to them on how you can continue to push forward through this mess that we're in. Through the process of going through suffering. Because, like, okay, in John chapter 15, right? In John chapter 15, verse 18. Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, said this right here. He said, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. So, understanding that if you're going through trials and tribulations in this world, that means that you're doing something right, but understanding that all the prophets before you went through terrible times. They went through hardships. They went through ups and downs. They had to make tough decisions when they really didn't want to make tough decisions. They had to go through all these obstacles in order for them to reach the pinnacle of life, the success of life. And the success of life is being known as being righteous in Ananias' eyes, or Yahuwah's eyes. That is the ultimate goal, is to be righteous when you have reached your death. When the Father can say he's happy for you, or he said, this is my son who I'm well, or this is my daughter who I'm well pleased. That is the ultimate goal in life, is to do right on this earth and to be able to receive the just due award at the end of it. And that's what Paul was saying. Hey, man, I'm encouraging you to continue to do what you're doing, because I know that it is hardships. I know that it is trials and tribulations. I know that it's in difficult moments, because I myself, Paul, am going through the same thing. And see, this is my word to the Hebrew Israelites, or the brothers and sisters, or the African American people, or and the Gentiles who attach themselves to the African American people or Hebrew Israelites. Yes, keep the faith. Keep moving forward. Yes, you're going to go through some trials and tribulations. You're going to go through some hardships. But the ultimate goal is to keep moving forward, because I want you to understand this right here. It says in 1 Thessalonians 3 and 5, it says, for this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means the temper or the devil have tempted you, and our labor be in vain. He says that the temper has come to tempt you to do whatever he's trying to get you to do, but because you stay strong in your belief system, you stay strong in your culture and your traditions, you can overcome the Hashatan, or the adversary. And that's something that this walk is trying to teach us, that hey, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. See, we're wrestling with, or we're dealing with something that's higher than the physical realm. It just, whether it's up to us and whether we want to deal with that and try to overcome that. And see, it's a struggle. It's like my wife and I was talking this morning. She said, everybody ain't in the same place. She said, she gave me some examples of me, and she said that everybody's not where you're trying to be, where you are. People still have some hurdles that they got to go through. And she said that it's up to you to give us grace. And I understood that. And at the end of the conversation, I told my wife, I said, hey, but if you're trying to be like somebody, you need to do what they're doing in order to be like them. You may not need to do the identical thing that they're doing, but you put your own stuff on it, but it's still the same thing, but it's your way. In order to get the things that Christ gave us, we got to do what Christ did. in order for us to get what Paul or whatever your objective is in life, however you try, if you're trying to be like somebody, you got to really truly imitate their life. Just like Kobe imitated Jordan's walk, he imitated Jordan's shot. He tried to be just like Mike in order to be successful as Mike. So in order for you to want to be like somebody, you really got to truly walk in the ways of that person in order to be able to receive the same gifts that person receives. But you cannot walk in that gift. You cannot walk in a way contrary to that person but expect to receive what that person is getting or receiving or profiting or his reward. You got to do what he's willing to do. And I want to say this to you too. I was reading this book, right? I was reading this book this week, right? It's called The Ultimate Man, or The Supreme Man. How to Get to the Supreme Man. Right? That's what I was reading this week. And in order to get to where you truly want to be in life, you first got to know your true purpose. You got to know how to express yourself during hurt and conflict. It says you got to know yourself and aid your character and your character. You got to know yourself and your character so that you can live in your know. If you don't know your true purpose, if you don't know how to express yourself during hurt and conflict, if you don't know your true self and character, how can you be able to maneuver during this process? Then it says, one thing it says that I learned, it says, never lie to yourself about who you are as a person and your fears and abilities. How can you be successful when you're continuing to lie to yourself as a person? How can you continue to be successful in life if you're constantly denying that you have fears when you are not telling yourself the truth? How can you be successful? And see, when I was at work this week, right, I asked 3 different people. I asked the Asian guy, I asked the middle-aged black brother, and a younger-aged brother the same questions. I said, what stopped you from being successful? And most of the people said fear. Fear stopped them from being successful. So when they had fear and they didn't acknowledge the fear, it caused them not to be as successful as they wanted to be. Fear is the biggest obstacle that people have to get over in order for them to be able to reach the level in which they want to go. That's why belief overrides fear. But if you don't have no belief, your fear will override your belief or your thoughts. Then it says, also I learned, it says, know that you have to push yourself. You got to push yourself to the max. You got to push yourself to the limit in order for you to be successful. A lot of us just want things given to us, and a lot of things want it to be easy. But this spiritual realm that we're walking in, and the Hashatan knows your gifts and your abilities, he's not going to allow it to be easy for you. He's not going to allow nothing to just be handed to you. He's going to make you earn it. He's going to make you push yourself to get what you want. And also the last one, it says, know that people will only trust you when you walk in your truth. People know liars, right? And people do not trust liars. People do not trust liars. But when the person starts to walk in their truth about their character, truth about their abilities, truth about their fears, truth about their true purpose, truth about who they are as a person, when they start to walk in that truth, people can respect them more. But as long as people are not walking in their truth, they don't get the respect that they really truly want. They're not going to get what they truly want out of life. Okay? So, when we're talking about that, and we're talking about just what we're talking about here in Thessalonians, in order for us to be able to reach that higher level of consciousness, we really got to do some true soul searching. We got to do some righteousness. And we got to we got to go within ourselves to find out who we are, what we're about, and where we're trying to go. And being real and trying to truly understand the word of Yahuwah, because we have to understand that we got to go through these trying times, because those trying times is to test us. Those times are there to test us. It is there to test us. Those trying times are there to test us, so that we can see where we are and see where we need to go. How far we are off from the mark. And I'm a long way off from the mark. And I'm telling you, I'm far from the mark. Even though it may appear to some people that I'm on mark, I'm off the mark. It's an everyday struggle. It's an everyday fight. Because I have fears every day. I have fears, and I deal with obstacles every day. I'm no better or worse than anyone else. Okay? So, this is about us in the end times, talking about in the end times on how we need to be during this time period. Figuring out how we need to be during this time period. What's our mindset need to be like? How our lifestyle need to be. Excuse me. Because this is what matters. It don't matter how you start the race. It matters how you finish the race. If you're going to finish strong, or are you going to finish weak? Okay? So let us go ahead and get started. Okay, in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 1. It said, but the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourself know perfectly that the day of Yahuwah so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay. Understanding that parable. Understanding what he just said, right? Okay, let me first say this to you. I want us to understand something. In order to be able to have some understanding of how the end time is supposed to be, it says in Matthew chapter 10, verse 34, it says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword. But okay, so when we say a sword brings on destruction, sword brings on conflict, sword brings on death, famine, sword brings on all these different things, contrary to peace. So when we're looking at that, so when we're looking at what that verse is saying, a sword is contrary to peace. That means that he understands that it's gonna be pestilence, famine, wars, death, and all this chaos. So when we're looking at it, and then we're looking at verse 2 in 1 Thessalonians, it says, "For yourself know perfectly that the day of Yahuwah so cometh as a thief in the night." Okay, so when we're looking at a thief, what does a thief do? What does a thief do? He says in John chapter 10 verse 10, it says, "The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, to destroy. I have come that they may have life, that they might have it more abundantly." Let us go back to first Matthew chapter 10. No, John chapter 10, verse 10. Because in 1 Thessalonians, he's telling us, he said, a thief, let me do something. A thief, one who secretly, unlawfully, and feloniously takes the good or personal property of another. Okay, it says one who takes the property of another wrongfully, either secretly or by violence. Listen to that. A thief is one who takes the property of another wrongfully, either secretly or by violence. Job chapter 30. Job chapter 30 verse 5, it says, "They was driven forth from among men, they cried after them as a thief." Okay? A thief is one who's seduced by false doctrine. Okay? A thief is one who makes his business to cheat or defraud as a den of thieves. So what the Most High was saying in the verse is, he's telling us we got to look at the characteristics of a thief. We got to look at the characteristics of a thief. A thief is one who secretly and lawfully and feloniously takes the good or personal properties of another. He does it secretly and he do it unlawfully. Then he says a thief is one who takes another's wrongfully and secretly or by violence. A thief, he does it secretly, he do it unlawfully, he does it by violence. Then he also teaches false doctrines, okay? So when we're looking at the character of a thief, the character of a thief is the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's what a thief does. A thief is coming to do that. That's his characteristics. But Yahshua HaMashiach said, "I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly." I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for his sheep, for the sheep. Okay? So, when we understand the characteristics of a thief, we understand that for yourself knoweth perfectly that the day of Yahuwah so cometh as a thief in the night. A thief is a person who do things unlawfully, secretly, violently, and with false doctrine. That's what a thief does. So in order for us to be able to understand the days that we living in, is there a lot of violence on the land? Is there a lot of unlawfulness on the land? Is there a lot of secrecy on the land? Are people properties being taken on the land? That's what we got to look at, because Gaza is the property. The secrecies is everything that's going on around the world, the hidden histories of the world. The violence is violence all over the world. That's why so many gun purchases have been made. And are people doing things unlawfully? Very much so. For it says, for yourself know perfectly that the day of Yahuwah so cometh as a thief in the night. Mean a sword, destruction. The day of Yahuwah is a day of destruction upon the land. Let us go to Matthew chapter 24. Because Matthew 24 is all about how we should be responding in these days we're in now. Matthew chapter 24 verses 42 and 44. Okay? It reads, it says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your master doeth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his master has made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? But it says, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. So, because it used the parable of, if we would have knew that the thief was coming into our house to break in it, we would have been now waiting for him so that we can make sure he don't break up our house. Right? So that's why he's saying, he's using himself as, he's giving an example or a parable of, I'm going to be like a thief. I want you to understand that I'm going to be like a thief when I come back into the world. I'm not going to bring peace. I'm not bringing love. I'm bringing destruction. I'm bringing violence. I'm bringing division. I'm bringing a lot of things that you're not going to be ready for. That's what he is saying. Okay, also let's go to Revelations. Because we have to understand that, okay, it says, we got to understand that it's like construction, right? When you want to build, when you got an old house sitting on a whole bunch of land, but the old house is inhabitable. What you got to do is destroy that old house and rebuild something new on the new land, on that land. But first you got to destroy the old and bring in something new. That's what's actually got to be taking place. The old systems, the old leadership, everything that's now ruling the world cannot exist during the time of his coming. So what he got to do? he got to destroy it with violence and sword and pestilence and famine. Okay? Then it says, remember therefore, in Revelation chapter 3, verse 3, it says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. See, I want to say this to you. If you're reading the Word and you're studying the Word, you will understand what season we're in. You won't know the specific hour, but you won't know the specific day, but you will understand the season. And when you're understanding the season, you will be doing things more appropriate for making sure that you're protected during the time of tribulations. Because if you knew the season that we was in, you would be preparing yourself for it. You'll be preparing yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the seasons. Because let's go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. Understand the first verse. It says, but of the times and the seasons. See, we're in a season now of judgment. But if you're in the world, you won't understand that we are in a season of judgment. So if you're in the world and you don't understand that we're in a season of judgment, no, you won't be preparing physically, spiritually, emotionally, and what does it say? Physical, spiritual, emotionally, and one other one. Huh? Logic. Okay, mentally, physical, emotional, and psychological. Psychological, I say social. Okay, you would not be preparing yourself for that if you did not read the Bible and understand it. But if you did read the Bible and you understood it, you'll be prepared. Not saying that not live, but you will be doing more things to help you deal with the events that's going to take place in the earth. Your main focus would not be being a part of the world. Your main focus would be making sure you're protected during the season of time, tribulation, famine, pestilence, and all these other things. Okay? So let us go to verse 3 in chapter 5 in 1 Thessalonians. If you really, truly studied the Word, and you knew the seasons that we was in, you knew that destruction was about to come on the land. You'll know that. So what would you do? You start preparing for that. Because okay, let me read Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 and 7 real fast. It says, let me read verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, When shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming? Listen to that. Listen to that. What shall it be? The signs of thy coming and the end of the age. Let's go down to verse 6. Because ain't nothing going to be peaceful about his coming. He said, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. Then it says, for nations shall rise against nations, and kingdoms against kingdom. And there shall be famine, pestilence, and earthquake in divers places. And the most important thing in verse 8, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrow. So, when we're looking at it, we got to look at the Most High is not, Yahushua is not coming back kind. He's coming back to bring destruction and all these other things to the earth. And if we understood that, we would start to adjust ourselves to what actually is going to take place. That's why the title of the text today is, we have to be very watchful. The time is near. Because he said, I come like a thief in the night. A thief in the night is the person who brings violence. A person who brings unlawfulness. A person who brings on false doctrine. A person who brings on really negativity. And see, that's something that we got to comprehend. But he said, but after, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, pestilence, and earthquake in divers places. But you got to understand, what does famine bring? Violence. What does pestilence bring? Sickness. So we got to look at all these things, and we got to start to prepare ourselves for this long suffering that we get ready to go through, or that we may go through in the near future. Because what I'm teaching today is about you preparing yourself for the future and these events going to take place. It's just that we got to prepare ourselves for it. Let's go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. Because he said, listen to these verses again. Listen to verse 2. Listen to verse 3. Because it's not about peace, it's about destruction, right? It says, for yourself know perfectly that the day of Yahuwah so cometh as a thief in the night, which is violence, destruction, lying, unlawfulness, and all that other stuff. Listen to this. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then suddenly destruction come upon them, as travail, as pain upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See, but if you're not preparing yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, and psychologically for the events that coming, no, you won't escape it, because you haven't prepared yourself for the events that's going to be here in the earth. And that's what's most important. That's why we got to keep our head on a swivel. That's why we got to keep our head on the swivel, because in Matthew chapter 24 verse 13 it says, But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. See, in order for you to endure these famine, these pestilence, this violence, this war, you got to be mentally, physically, emotionally, and psychologically prepared, or spiritually ready for what's to happen. See, the physical aspect is making sure you're in shape, making sure your health is okay, making sure that you can walk a mile or 2 miles, making sure that you can be able to endure the climate weather. Mentally is making sure you understand that yes, it's going to be I'm going to see some stuff that I may not want to see. I'm going to have to make some tough choices I don't want to make. That's the mental part. The emotional part is being stable to make those sound decisions. Whether should I do this or whether I should not do this, or whether I should do this or whether I should not do that. That's the emotional part. Making the logical decisions at the right time. And then the spiritual aspect is making sure that I know through all these things that the Creator got a higher purpose. That is, the Creator has a higher purpose for what's going on. So I got to be able to understand that whatever we're going through on this earth, it's not about me. It's all about what the Creator is trying to do through me. And see, that's something that we're going to have to really deal with. We got to make some mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual decisions. Okay? Because it says in Matthew chapter 24, verse 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Okay? So let us go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Because, listen to it again in verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as pain upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See, when those contractions come on a woman, those pains hit that woman when she knows it's time for the child to come out of her womb, she can't go past that. She can't stop them birth pains from happening. She can't stop that process from happening. She cannot stop the birthing of that child. So you cannot stop what got to take place in the earth. That is what that passage is saying. If you understood, you truly understood that a woman who's been pregnant for 9 months, when them pains come, that's an indication to her, hey, it's time to have this baby. She can't get away from that. So if she can't get away from her having them birth pains and bringing that baby to the world, we can't get away from us going through this situation that we got to go through. And that's something that we have to understand. That's why I say they shall not escape. Meaning that, let me look at the word escape for you. Escape means to flee out. You ain't going to be able to go nowhere and think that you're not going to have to deal with trials and tribulations, famines and pestilence in the land. You can't escape that. If you go to Africa, you're going to get it. If you go to Mexico, you're going to get it. If you go to Venezuela or Honduras, wherever you go, you're still going to go through it. Because it's going to be all over the earth. But you just got to prepare yourself for what's to come. Let us go to Deuteronomy. 29 and 19. It says, and it come to pass, when he heard the words of this curse, that he blessed himself in his mind, saying, I shall have peace. Though, listen to this. Listen to this very carefully. Listen to the trickery that people play with themselves. Listen to the manipulation that people play with themselves. And people manipulate themselves all the time, trying to live in la la land. Okay? Listen to it again. It says, and it comes to pass when he hears, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. When he hears the words of this curse, which is in Deuteronomy 28, that he blessed himself in his mind, saying, I shall have peace, though contrary I walk in the imagination of my mind, to add drunkenness to thirst. Yahuwah will not spare him, but then the anger of Yahuwah and his jealousy shall smoke against that man, and all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him. And Yahuwah shall blot out his name from under heaven. See, when you're saying in your mind, I heard the word, but I just don't truly want to walk in the word, because I'm going to still do what I want to do, and I think the Most High will still bless me, that's when Yahuwah will not spare you. But then anger of Yahuwah and his jealousy shall smoke against that man or that person. And all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon that person. When you manipulate yourself and say, I hear the word, but I don't believe in the word because I'm going to still do what I want to do because the way I want to do it and how I want to do it, you're doing nothing but bringing curses upon yourself. Because you're not going to be able to endure it until the end, because you're not going to be spiritually ready for that, because you've been manipulating yourself throughout the whole time. As long as you're manipulating yourself, saying, I can do these things here and Yahuwah will not judge me. I can do these things here and Yahuwah will not judge me. You're manipulating yourself to think one thing, but in actuality something else is going to happen to you. Manipulation is a sign of witchcraft, and you're basically putting witchcraft on yourself. Let me read it over. It says, and it come to pass when he heareth, listen, when he heareth the words of this curse, which is in Deuteronomy, he that blessed himself in his mind, saying, I shall have peace, though contrary I walk in sin in my mind, to add drunkenness to thirst. He's saying, okay, even though Yahuwah is telling you to act right, you said, nah, I'm going to still do what I want to do, and I feel like Yahuwah going to bless me. That's tempting Yahuwah. Let us go to Psalms. I got to hurry up. Let us go to Psalms 10, verse 11 through 13. Listen, when you see the word heart in the Bible, it comes from the mind. Talking about the mindset, okay? Okay, in Psalms 10, 11 through 13, it says, he has said in his mind, Anani has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Yahuwah, my Anani. Lift up thy hands. Forget not the humble. Wherefore doeth the wicked condemns Anani. He has said in his mind, thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it. For thou beholdest mischief, and spit, and requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. But people say in their mind all the time, he that said in his mind, God has forgotten, he hidden his face, he will never see it. As if the Most High don't see what we're actually doing. Acting as if we actually forgot what we did. How can we think that if we don't forget, what you think the Most High gonna do? See, it's a lot of things that us as humans got to pay for because we manipulate ourselves to think it's one thing, but in actuality it's something totally different. Let's go back to 1 Thessalonians. Verse 4. It says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness that day. That day. It says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Listen to that. Listen to what Paul is saying, how Paul is saying it. He said, but ye, brethren. He's talking about the righteous ones who understand the word. The righteous ones who understand the word. Ye, brethren, who understand the word, who've been studying, who've been doing the Most High commandments, are not in darkness. That day should overtake. That day should overtake you as a thief. He said that because you understand, that day won't overtake you as a thief. Because you're going to be prepared for it. But because you're in darkness, that day is going to overtake you because you're going to be walking around saying, man, what's going on, man? Why all this stuff happening, man? What's going on, man? Why all this stuff happening? Listen to what Paul is saying. He said, but ye brethren. He's addressing a specific group of people who's really, truly following the word, doing what the word say do, who have accepted their identity and accepted what they supposed to be doing. Ye brethren are not in darkness. That day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light. Brethren, ye are the children of light and the children of day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Darkness means the ignorance. We're not ignorant of what's actually taking place. But the people that are in the darkness and the people that lives in the night, they are in darkness. Ye, it says again, brothers, ye are the children of light and the children of day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. See, there's a lot of people that's ignoring the signs and the symbols and everything that's going on in the world today because that's something that they want to do because they don't want to really study and truly understand the word. And because they don't want to do that, they are children who sleep. And see, I'm going to say something to you. The hardest part about life is being disciplined. That's the hardest part about life. It's boring to some people. But being disciplined is very hard for some people because it's boring. There's no excitement. It is the same routine over and over and over again. But it's boring to those people who's not disciplined. But discipline is the more disciplined you are, the more successful you are. Because you're operating within a boundary or a circle. You have routines, you got strict regulations, you are on a protocol. But to those who are not disciplined, they all over the place. They're not as successful. And they try to blame that on other people, but it don't have anything to do with other people. It comes down to you and why you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Then it says in verse 6, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love. For the helmet, the hope of salvation. This is him telling us what we should be doing at this point in time right now. What we should be doing, how we should be doing it. Because the simple fact is, this is he's telling us it's not going to be an easy walk. Because also it's talking about protecting yourself. Protecting yourself in this moment. That's why he said that. Because the breastplate, it protects the vital organs. It protects all the vital organs. It's just like when you got on a bulletproof vest, it protects the vital organs so that you will not be deleted during destruction of war. That's what the breastplate protects. It protects the vital organs during a chaos or catastrophe or situation. They can throw a spear. If you got your breastplate on, if they throw a spear at you, it'll bounce right off the breastplate. And if somebody's shooting ammunition at you and it hit your body armor, it won't penetrate. That's the way we got to be right now. And even when it said, for the helmet, the hope of salvation. See, that helmet also protects the mind. That's why I say we got to be emotionally and spiritually ready for what's to come. Our mind going to have sound doctrine. And we're going to have to make balanced and logical decisions. See, the breastplate protects the emotion, the physical part. And see, if we're not ready for this, we can't be able to endure these things. Then it says in verse 9, for Ananias has not appointed us to wrath. See, this is encouraging to those who really, truly want to be able to receive the protection of Ananias. Listen to it again. Listen to it again. Listen to it. It says, for Ananias had not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain protection from our Lord Jesus Christ, or Yahshua the HaMashiach, Yahushua HaMashiach. So, he don't really want us to go through nothing, but we got to do something to be protected when everybody else is going through it. me see something. Go to Psalms 91. Listen to verse 6 and 7. Listen to verse 6, 7, and 8. It says, nor for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that's wasted at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy right side, at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. See, only the reward of the wicked is going to be able to go through the wrath, because the simple fact is they wasn't ready or prepared themselves for what's actually going to take place. Okay? Then let us go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 it says, for Adonai has not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain protection by our Lord Jesus Christ, or Yahushua HaMashiach. Then it says in verse 10, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we shall live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together, and edify one another, even as also ye do. Okay? So let us go to Genesis chapter. Let me go to Genesis chapter for a second.
Chapter what?
Genesis chapter, I think it's chapter 6. Genesis chapter. Let us go down to. Hold on. Let us go to verse. Go to 17. Genesis chapter 7, verse 17.
7?
Yeah, Genesis chapter 7, verse 17. See, I want you to understand. See, what I come to understand is that the Most High always sent a forerunner or a prophet before destruction, so that you cannot give an excuse on that destruction. He always going to send a forerunner. He always going to send a prophet to come warn you what's actually going to take place before it happened. Okay? So when we're looking at Genesis chapter 7 verse 17, we're talking about Noah. When the Most High gave Noah a vision, or he told Noah to start going to build an ark. And the reason why the Most High was getting ready to destroy the world, because the world was in corruption. The angels was being intimate with women, and they was just bringing a whole lot of corruption on the land. So what the Most High said, okay, Noah, I want you to go preach to these people. Listen to this. I want you to go preach to these people for 120 years, so that they can get their lives together, so when I come back, I can be able to save the whole earth. But the fact of the matter, none of those people believed what Noah was actually truly saying. It's just like now, a lot of people don't believe what times we're in, because they're so caught up into their own corruption, their own mindset, their own way of doing things, that they don't really truly believe that we're in the days and times that we're in now. It says, I'm going to read it out of another book too. It says, and they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Ananias had commanded him, and Yahuwah shut him in. Listen to that. Listen to that. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the water increased and bare up the ark, and it was left up above the earth, lifted above the earth. And the water prevailed and increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the water, and the water prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that was under the whole heavens were covered. All flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of the fowl and of the cattle and of the beast, of every creeping thing that creeped upon the earth, every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. See, what we don't get is this right here in verse 16. It says, and they that went in male and female, not male and male, female and female, went in male and female of all flesh, as Ananias had commanded him, and Yahuwah shut him in. Okay? Coming out of Jasher, chapter 6, verse 14. Let me read a little bit of it, okay? Then it says, all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven was open, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And Noah and his household and all the living creatures that was with him came into the ark on account of the waters of the flood, and Yahuwah shut him in. See, the Most High protected the righteous. Understand that the Most High protected the righteous, okay? And all the sons of men that was left upon the earth became exhausted through evil on account of the rain. For the waters were coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and the beasts were still surrounding the ark. Listen to that again. All the souls of men that was left upon the earth became exhausted, became tired through evil on account of the rain. For the waters was coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and the beasts were still surrounding the ark. And the Son of Men assembled together about 700,000 men and women. Listen to this. And the Son of Men assembled together about 700,000 men and women, and they came unto the ark of the Noah's to ark. They came unto Noah to the ark, and they called to Noah, saying, open for us that we may come to thee in the ark. And wherefore shall we die? And Noah with a loud voice answered them from the ark, saying, Have you not all rebelled against Yahuwah, and said that he does not exist? Some people are still saying the Most High don't exist at this day and time that we're in now. And therefore Yahuwah brought upon you this evil to destroy and cut you off from the face of the earth. Is not this the thing that I spake to you of 120 years back, and you would not hearken to the voice of Yahuwah? And now do you desire to live upon the earth? Now you desire to live upon the earth. And they said to Noah, we are ready to return to Yahuwah, only open for us that we may live and not die. And Noah answered them, saying, Behold, now that you see the trouble of your soul and you wish to return to Yahuwah, why did you not return during these 120 years, which Yahuwah has granted you as the determined period? But now you come and tell me this on the account of the troubles of your soul. See, people only going to want to return to Yahuwah when they're in trouble. That's why I was talking to my wife about freedom this morning. He said, but now you come and tell me this on account of the troubles of your soul. Now also Yahuwah will not listen to you, neither will he give ear to you on this day, so that you will not now succeed in your wishes. The Son of Man approached in order to break into the ark to come in on account of the rain, for they could not bear the rain upon them. And Yahuwah sent all the beasts and animals that stood around the ark, and the beasts overpowered them and drove them from that place, and every man went his way. And they again scattered themselves upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah did not allow the people to be able to receive the protection because they didn't want to do it for. They had opportunities, but they chose not to. You had opportunities to get it right, but chose not to. But at the very last minute, you want to do it. See, that was the same way with Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham said, if it was 50 righteous, would you save them? You would say, yeah. Then he went down to 45. He kept on going down and down in number. See, Yahuwah give us opportunities to try to get ourselves together, but we just choose not to. We choose not to. Only the wicked choose. Now I'm going to say that. Only the wicked choose not to, because they still drunk and walk in darkness. But the righteous, this is what the righteous do. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 13. And I'm done after this one. It says, in Hebrews chapter 3, verse 13, it says, but exalt one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. If we are made partakers of Christ, if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end, while it is said today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your heart, as in provocation. For some, when they have heard, did provoke, howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. But with whom was he grieved 40 years? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcass fell in the wilderness? To whom spare he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not? So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. But right now, what we should be doing is in verse 13. But exalt one another daily while it is today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. We need to be lifting each other up right now in this day and time because of all the things that's going on in the world. We should be edifying and lifting each other up because we getting ready to go through some trying times. That's why we got to be very watchful, Because everything that's going on in the world, we got to be edifying and lifting everybody up, encouraging people not to continue to be in sin. Amen. So, Father, we thank you, we love you, we bless you, we praise you, and give you all the honor and the glory, Father. We thank you for everything you have done and what you continue to do. We just ask that you continue to just lead us, guide us, and cover us. Let us hear the way you want us to hear, speak the way you want us to speak, and see the way you want us to see. And all these things we pray in your high name, so let it be. Shalom. Y'all be good and have a blessed and happy Sabbath day.
Scotty C got this one. Put this blood on your doorpost, we bout to get redeemed. Take this thing, walk like Christ, put these shoes on your feet. It's the Father Passover, make sure Christ in me. One of them breathers like the thing, you that's that light indeed. This blood in your life, so we gon' get eternal. Keep on crying, he sent a pledge, how that mean he heard you. When you stay on this narrow, they gon' try to carry you. Bear this burden with your cross out, but we gon' serve you. That blood atonement for all sins, fight this good fight. Without that blood, ain't no remission, no this book right here. How you get us out of Egypt, Romans 5 and 9. Now that blood, the only reason why we took flight. Eat that flesh, drink his blood, put that life in you. Eat this man, to drink this water, you got Christ in you. When you follow the king, they put that life in you. We sacrifice, take a loss, and hope they might win you. By his blood begins into his presence. The high priest at the door in the heavens. We gon' follow the shepherd, ain't no neglect. Heaven gates got our name like we cabin. We want your spirit to enter these temples. I want your ruach to hit me like cymbals. All by your blood, we felt your love. Abba, don't leave us, we can't get enough.
It's his blood that's preventing this nation from going straight from Genesis to Revelation. He showed the way. You ain't gotta lose to every temptation that come your way. If you sin, then repent, then face it another day. I could feel his eyes on me, the evil think that I'm prey. Ay, I ain't never claimed to be perfect, but let me say, ay, I will overcome. I'm saying this with my faith, and I'm supposed to be here. My existence ain't no mistake. Okay, prayer be our weapon now. Trying to go the extra mile. Gotta keep that hedge around. We big dogs stepping down. Tic-tac-toes on my demons had to X them out. Money this, money that, don't let money stress you out. Your bread might decrease when you finally take the leaven out. Punchline so plush, Christ is the only plug. His death showed you love, then he rose, now we trust. Sin can't hold his cuss.